Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Gaijin has announced the next event that's coming to War Thunder, and it is a naval event, and it's also for a coastal vehicle, surprisingly. So after the last big update, which added some of the largest battleships in, well, War Thunder's history and also the world in the Blue Water Fleet, Gaijin has decided to add a high-ranking event vehicle for the coastal side of things. This is the IJN Shisaka, and it may be familiar to you actually, because it's part of the Hiburi class, and the Hiburi class has actually been in the game for a long time in War Thunder in the form of the Sionen that you will find at rank 5 battle rating 3.3 in the Japanese tree. So just like last year around this time when Gaijin added in, I believe it was the Alcione for the Italians in their coastal fleet. Yep, the Alcione, which was part of the Albatross class, which is basically the same as the Albatross, which is in the tech tree. They're doing exactly the same thing with Japan, with a coastal event vehicle, which is incredibly similar to a vehicle that's already there. So this event is very much a copy-paste event, very similar to what we've seen before, and it will give you access to a vehicle that generally will be okay to play. And also, to be honest, I think the secondary type of things that you can get in this event are actually way better than the actual vehicle itself, which is kind of sad to say. So what is the Shisaka? Well, as I said, it's part of the Hiburi class of escort ships. Gaijin labeled them as frigates, and basically it has 3 120mm guns and also a bunch of extra stuff which doesn't really matter. It has a metric ton of 25mm on it. It also has access to 6 side mortar launchers and 2 stern depth charge racks, so whenever they decide to actually add submarines, this thing will actually be quite deadly to them. When it comes to the 25mm, if you have a look at the Sionen, which is in the standard tech tree, that one has a single 25mm and then 5 triple mounted 25mm guns too. Now, the Sionen is kind of funny because there was a time in War Thunder where it was basically indestructible. So it was a conqueror of the coastal fleet because you just couldn't sink the thing. And it was completely bugged and absolutely insane. But then they fixed it, and now it's very much a damp squib. One of the problems with the vehicle, the Sionen, is the actual targeting speed on the 120mm. The targeting speed isn't very good. And then also you are limited to HE, so you don't have any AP, so you can't pen anything. So you're very limited on what targets you can actually go after. This event, by the way, is starting on the 23rd of July, so exactly the same time as the Battle Pass, and then it's going until the 6th of August. So overall, it's a 7-stage event. The stages themselves are 35 mission score each, so on the lower end of what you usually have to do. And then also, you can get the upgrade coupon for 600,000 mission points if you want it. Remember, you can actually trade the upgrade coupon in for the Warbond shop, or you can use it to sell the vehicle on the market if you have access to it. So 35k every 2 days and 600k if you want the coupon. So basically double the grind, which shouldn't be too hard. The actual way of grinding it is obviously in naval battles, rank 3 or higher in arcade or realistic. You can basically use coastal, you can use blue water, you can use whatever you want as long as it's rank 3 or higher. And then you are also able to use event vehicles from rank 1 and 2 as well. There was some Battle Pass missions which needed naval, so maybe they will kind of cross-pollinate with that, but who knows? At the end of the day, we'll have to see what kind of goes on. So, what else is available for this thing? We have a trophy with a random reward. So looks like that's just going to be like a booster, premium, camouflage, stuff like that. Basically the same as the pages of history. So no mention of the gambling boxes, which I know there's a few people who are interested in the good old SL boxes that nowadays people are addicted to. And then also you get a decal at stage 2. This is the Kagoshima emblem, and I think it looks really nice. Generally just, I always like crosses on emblems. I think they kind of fit very well. And then at stage 4, you have the Kagoshima Prefecture ship flag. which is also turning up, so you'll be able to put that on any of your machines, and a nice little collectible. One of the cool things at 6 stages is you get the loading screen, and the loading screen itself is absolutely amazing. Basically, this is a loading screen which has Mount Sakurajima in the background, and I generally just think it looks nice. The loading screens are something in War Thunder that I really adore. I love the art behind them. I think it's really good, even though I don't really get to see them that much because usually War Thunder loads pretty quick for me. I also, sometimes just go through the loading screen filter and have a look at them. And I think generally it's cool to have them as backgrounds too when it comes to your PC. The other thing is, at the 7th stage, you get yourself the Shisaka, so that's where it's going to turn up, so not really too surprising. One of the surprising things about this thing, though, is it was actually used by China too, and BVD actually talked about last year. He was on like a Chinese kind of social media thing, and he said it's probably going to be a long time before they add Chinese naval stuff. And I mean, technically, this is something that was around for China. One of the crazy things is this vehicle was laid down in 1944, and then it was surrendered basically in 1945, obviously after the war, and ended up being used by China. And then it was renamed to the Huian or Huan. I'm guessing it's Huian. I'm not entirely sure how you actually say it. And it then was used by the Republic of China. It then defected to the People's Liberation Army in 1949. And then it was sunk in 1949 too, refloated, repaired in 1953. And then it served until 1990. Which is just wild to think about. Like, if you want to see some crazy vehicles, looking at Chinese naval when it comes to real life and how long a lot of their machines actually served, it's pretty impressive that they were able to maintain them and keep them in service that long. Because obviously many other nations moved on with their naval technologies and scrapped some of the old stuff. But yeah, the vehicle was decommissioned in 1990, so basically served, 40, 50 years? Absolutely crazy to think that. But it didn't take an active part in the Second World War. It didn't really, but it did take part in the Chinese Civil War, which I think, is pretty interesting. And maybe in the future, this vehicle could turn up for China. But let's be honest, this vehicle is pretty uninspired. I don't see a ton of people's gonna really get that interested in this because it's just a copy-paste event vehicle. There's no premium attached to it. It's at rank 5, so its modifications are going to be really tall, and also it's going to face destroyers, which are just going to kill it because they have better weaponry and also they have better survivability. So unless this thing gets something really interesting to it, it's pretty much dead on arrival, and very similar to the Alcione, which we have in the Italian tech tree. As always, let me know your thoughts, and I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank GMG Smiley, CD Beans, Chieftain Mike, EMN3 Galaxy, Tulio Pontecorvo, Brendan Quinn, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Ozzy Panzer, Alan Hacker, Liam Shear, Opium Prime, Lafouche, Sem, Aslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.